Just recently, there's been a number of marriage and dating shows on the TV. Now, I'm not a lover of TV, but I do enjoy watching some of those shows because I enjoy the psychology. I mean, it's the field that I work in. So it's interesting to see the different characters, who they're matched up against, where the so-called experts match these people up. And sometimes you get a bit of background knowledge as to what they're looking for in a partner. Now, most of the people that go on these programs, they use this as a last resort. They've drawn a blank with traditional methods. I say traditional today probably means going online as well. So whatever methods they've tried, they've drawn a blank. And some of them have been in a number of committed relationships and they haven't worked out. So now they're looking for love, or they're looking for their soulmate. One of the things that I'm quite surprised with is that, and I think it's quite obvious with some of the individuals that are on these programs, is that they seem to have their own set ways. And a lot of the times, they haven't really had the time to reflect or recognise some of the issues or the attitudes or behaviours, beliefs that they have actually are not working for them. And you can see that they're going to play out a game in some of these new relationships. And when they start talking about, oh, he's doing this, he should be out there, or he should be connecting with me, he should be making an effort, why isn't he doing this, why isn't he doing that? Unless you're able to communicate that, or what you feel your idea of what a relationship is about, then it's not going to work. Yeah, communication is a big thing, but there's also got to be a lot of tolerance. There's got to be a lot of understanding about the other person, about what's their idea of a relationship. Because your idea of a relationship and the other person's idea of a relationship might be two completely different things. And you can see when the two meet, the couple meet for the first time, and it's really about a visual, physical type thing. So they meet and there's big smiles on their faces, and that's exactly the person that I'm after. The experts have got it right. But it's only for that interaction that they've got it right. When they start to have a conversation, or you get the interrogation from the partner's family or friends, that some of these things start to come out. And you start to think, oh, wait a minute, they've been in a few failed relationships. There's a couple of marriages that have gone on in the past that haven't worked. And here they are, talking about the same things, almost controlling. Yeah, well, this is what I always do. This is how I've always been. They can match me or join me. Some of them just go straight into that role. They haven't had the work, they haven't put the time in to recognise that I have to change. I have to step out and actually look back, reflect back, and see what's not working for me. See what sort of work that I have to do to try and understand myself, but also understand the needs of my partner. And that's often where we come undone in relationships. It's very much about me. This is what I want, this is what you can do for me. So if we can step out of that and start thinking about what we can do for our partner, and that's one of the golden rules of relationship, is help me understand what you want so I can get what I need. Relationships are two-way. It's recognising the needs of your partner, not over and above yours, because yours are important as well, because a relationship is about two people. But one of the first things that happens when things start to go wrong is we become defensive and we start picking fault or criticising our partner or judging. That only leads to resentment or contempt, and it's not going to work. And with one of the couples that I listened to fairly recently, one of the guys that was picked, the young lady mentioned the type of guy that she wanted, and that's what the experts set her up with. But she wouldn't let him be himself. She expected he should know what she wanted, and obviously he didn't. So I think there needs to be, especially in a lot of these programs, to give them a good fighting chance, is to give them some sort of an education or understanding about recognising the needs of others and not make it so self-centred. Because if you haven't had that exposure, because you just don't know, that old saying, we don't know what we don't know, if you don't know what's out there, then how can you be expected to recognise that this is what I have to do? So I think a lot of those programs are wanting. There needs to be the education to what makes a marriage or a relationship work. And I think they would have far better results and relationships or marriages that would last a lot longer if they gave them some basic relationship skills. Have a look at some of those programs that are on and see if you can pick up some of the areas that maybe relate to you, or that you can see that are glaringly obvious. And often when we're in the mix of it, it's hard for us to see. But if you can pick up and you can see that some of the things that are going on or that are playing out you can relate to, then that might be an opportunity for you to take note. And maybe there are some areas in your relationship where you can step up or that you can change. Because change is about doing. It's not about thinking, it's actually an action. Rather than look at your partner and look at the way they're doing things and think it's all them, take a look at yourself. As guys, that is hard to do sometimes for some of us, but it will make for a better relationship and it will make us better people. Have a look, see what you think. Be interested in some of your comments. Until next time.